Hello, everybody. It is I, One Happy YouTuber 87 here to talk about one of my favorite things in the world, Iron Man. This superhero has always stuck out to me among the rest as a child, and it still does to this day. I love all the colorful armors and wide assortment of them, the cool backstory, the complex personality of Tony Stark, like his own personal difficulties, the whole company stuff. It's always really appealed to me ever since I've just seen the movies. Actually, I don't even know how I was introduced to this character. I really don't. He's been in my life for just about as long as I can remember. I still have a plushie of him on my bed, and I love him. So, today I decided to make an Iron Man related video on a topic that has never been done. Ranking comic book armors. Unfortunately, when I was setting this up on TierMaker, I realized I had to download way too many images, so way too much. So I decided to just go simply talk about the era of Iron Man I am most familiar with. The 20th century Iron Man era. So I'm just going to rank every vintage Iron Man armor. All the way from 1963 to 1999. From the Model 1 all the way to the Model 17. Every single one. Alright, so first I'm going to start off with the Model 1 from Tales of Suspense number 39. I have this issue actually on my copy of Iron Man The End, and it just felt like such an honor to read the first appearance of a character I have known for so long. Yes, I do read Iron Man comics. I know that's kind of a rare thing to find, but yes, people who read Iron Man comics do indeed exist. The Model 1 is just such a unique armor. It's all clunky, but I love it. It actually has a saw on its index finger, which I don't think anyone has ever really talked about. And it used magnets instead of repulsors. Overall, it's very unique. S tier. I just can't respect this armor enough. Now we got, Model 1, Mark III. So this is the gold version of the armor. It's kind of the same, but not real... no thanks, Dell. I don't really need that optimization thing right now. So this is the armor that debated literally in the right next issue, and he just fought some kind of robotic troll or something. It's kind of strange, but the reason behind this armor existing, I think, was because of inking problems, but in the real universe reason, I think it was because, well, the gray model was just kind of scary, so he added basically a skirt to his armor and just painted the whole thing gold. It's kind of silly, but, I mean, it was the 60s. This is the armor where he founded the Avengers, so I gotta give some respect to that, but it doesn't really look as good as the original Model 1. It's an A tier for me. Now we got the Model 2. I have never read a single comic that has the Model 2 in it, but it's also probably one of my favorite armors in this entire list. I love the Horned Helmet so much, and its use in the Marvel Zombie storyline I find pretty inspiring. Especially when the Model 4, which I will get to in a little bit, is a lot more iconic. I thought the use of the Model 2 in that universe was just a really inspiring choice. I just love the bright colors. Steve Ditko did a great job designing this armor. I always liked the skinnier build compared to the more muscular build the later armors have. It really sets him apart from the other armors, along with other superheroes from around the same time. This is definitely one of my favorites in this entire list. Definitely. Now we got the flat face Model 2, which this is essentially just the Model 2 when it's drawn by Jack Kirby. I mean, it's honestly not too different from the Model 3 and 4. So it's just, I don't know, I feel like the Horned Helmet and the random gold belt in the middle is just better, I guess. Now we got the Model 3. This is a little bit confusing, but this is essentially the Model 3 before the Model 4. The Model 4 is the iconic one from, Demon in a Bottle, and when Rhodey used it when Tony relapsed, essentially, but, the Model 3 is honestly just the same thing, but the most you can get is that sometimes, the nipples, I don't think that's what they're called, but that's what they look like. I think it's sometimes placed a little bit lower or higher. Oh, wait, it's lower in this image, but, sometimes it's higher. It's kind of inconsistent, but more times it looks like nipples rather than just random pieces on the top of his, pecs. It's fine, I guess. S tier still. Come on, it's just a classic Iron Man look, but as far as it goes, it's just kind of basic, but the red and gold classic look is just iconic in so many ways. Now we got the nose armor. This is essentially the Model 3, but the mask broke, so he just gave it a nose. The story behind this armor is really fascinating. According to Kurt Busiek, this armor was created because Stan Lee was looking at recent Iron Man comics, and he realized that the Iron Man's eyes was drawn way too close to his, mask for there to be any room for the nose to fit inside. So he asked, "Where's the nose?" But the people behind the comic, didn't think this meant that the eyes shouldn't be that far apart, but instead thought that it meant that Iron Man should be given a nose. So he got a nose. It's goofy. It kind of just destroys most of the look. Come on, Tony, you're no Doctor Doom. You can't have a nose on your helmet and look that good. Come on, I didn't know how just one detail can just throw the entire thing off. It just looks too silly, even by 60s comic standards. Now we got the Model 4. This is the classic Iron Man armor. Pretty much every 70s and 80s story that everyone talks about relating to Iron Man features this armor, and I mean pretty much every single one. The David Michelinie and Bob Layden Iron Man run is one of the few comics where I own more than 2 issues of, and my golly, I love that run so much. It's been associated with it, and guess what? I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but whatever. Rhodey used this armor too when Tony relapsed, and boy, I think it was wait, what was the guy's name? I swear I have comics where Rhodey is Iron Man, but I forgot the name. Oh, Dennis O'Neil. Yeah, the same guy that did the novel edition of Batman Nightfall. Yes. Yeah, he also wrote those, and this is some of my favorite Iron Man comics ever. It's S tier for just the impact this armor has alone, even if I like the horn helmet a little bit better, but I am pretty biased, but still. Model 5, the space armor. I have all 3 comics that this issue appeared in. Not joking, I have all 3 of them. It's like a small little space arc where Iron Man builds a new spacesuit, essentially goes to space and finds a giant spaceship and an evil villain called Sunturion. Yeah, it's a pretty cool arc. I like it. It's just 3 issues long, but it's one of the few comics I own. Well, not few. I have a lot. Never mind. This is more like few comics I own where I just pretty much have almost anything related to one singular topic, and this Iron Man armor happens to be one of them. Okay, yes, S tier, A tier. And this is why I probably should have created a script before I decided to talk about the subject. Okay, now we got the stealth armor, aka I am not blue. Stop drawing me blue. I mean, coloring me blue. So, ever heard the fact that Spider-Man 2099, his costume is black, but everyone thought it was blue because of the inking? Guess what? This Iron Man stealth armor has the exact same problem. Literally the same problem. It keeps, in merchandise, whenever there's, a classic Iron Man, sometimes I wish that there weren't dogs in this house. I'm gonna have to edit that out of the video. Whew. Hopefully that didn't ruin the whole thing. Okay, so yeah, dogs were just barking and interrupted my speech. Thankfully, I'll probably try to edit that out of the video. So yeah, same color problem as Spider-Man 29, but it's still pretty cool. 2099, not 29. That's wrong. I wish I made a script for this video, but still. I don't think I've ever read a single comic featuring this armor, but from what I can tell, it has some kind of reflective technology, I think. It looks cool and it functions cool, but I mean, the whole merchandise recolor thing is just terrible. Anytime there's a classic armor merchandise, there's always going to be a recolor of the armor that's painted blue and says, Stealth Armor Variant. Like that. It kind of irritates me because this armor is not blue, it is black. Thankfully, this rendition of it from the Iron Manual that I got for this image. Yep. It's the correct color, and it has different shoulder pads. Okay, actually, I do have an armor with the stealth armor, a comic with the stealth armor, but it's more in some, I think it's some kind of annual, I think. It was the main armor, and it was cool. I think it also has a mechanism where it keeps it as from being undetectable by technology or something like that. I could be wrong, but still, it's a pretty good armor. It's iconic. And it's cool, even if people interpret the color wrong all the time. Silver Centurion. I mean, come on. This is, like, red and silver is the secondary color scheme for Iron Man. You can't tell me otherwise. This armor was first introduced, I think, in Armor Wars, but I could be stupid and wrong. Yeah, he fought the Ironmonger in this armor. You know, that guy from the first movie. Yeah, he's in the comics too. Although he actually has the same problem where he's drawn blue, even though he's meant to be black, but still. Or is it gray? One of the two, but I think the gray looks cooler. And yeah, I haven't read too many comics of this armor, but I love the way it looks, and I think the story behind it is pretty cool. And it's been adapted into the movies and in games as like a secondary armor. I'm pretty sure there's some color schemes for it in games like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and 3 have a color scheme themed after this armor. It's pretty cool. And we got the Hydro armor. It's kind of silly looking, but I honestly kind of like this armor for some reason. I never really knew why. I don't know, I just thought the bulky build and the dome head always looks cool. It's cool. Yeah, A tier. Model 9. Yes. Oh yeah, this armor is amazing. I own a ton of Iron Man comics with this one, particularly ones that are part of the Armor Wars 2 storyline, which features the villain. I forgot his name, but he was featured in the Iron Man 2 game no one bought or played, but like still, that's the part of the source material he was in. I think I recall Tony dying and getting some kind of coma or something. I could be wrong. Yeah, he fought the living laser, and I think he almost got sealed in that thing forever. At least that's some of the parts I can remember. I really need to reread some of this stuff, but like I do have it. And what do I think about this armor? I like it. I like the bulkier gauntlets it got, some slight like yellow sections and like the arms and boots, and I like how it kind of looks like a crop top, but it still has the metal in it. It's pretty cool looking. Yeah, this is an S tier armor, I guess. The reason these two are just a little bit down from the Model 4 is just due to the impact, and I guess this one just looking a bit more sleek and muscular, which I like a bit better compared to these ones. Come on, if I want a skinnier armor, the horned helmet is a necessity for a skinnier Iron Man, in my opinion. Okay, maybe not a necessity. Maybe I'm showing off my autistic traits. Just still, I think that looks cool. Model 10, aka, I think the Space Armor Mark II. Apparently this is part of Operation Galactic Storm. I never read this one. I don't really care for this look. I really don't care for this look yet. I mean, I'm pretty sure that that's some kind of influential Avengers comic. I mean, not that there's too many influential Avengers comics to begin with, but I don't know. This armor from appearance-wise just doesn't do it to me. I like the older one better. War Machine. Okay, you're probably looking at me and go, wait, what happened to YouTuber 87? War Machine is not a Tony Stark armor. It belongs to Rudy. Well, actually, the first War Machine armor did belong to Tony Stark. Specifically, the rendition of it that doesn't have the arc reactor. Not actually an arc reactor, but like that's... But just to make you know what it sounds like, since that's what the general audiences are familiar with. The first War Machine armor was the Model 11, essentially. It was briefly used in the 90s, and when Tony faked his death, Rhodey had the armor, and then it had the chest circle on it. And then when Tony came back with the next armor, which I will talk about later, that was when this armor was essentially gifted to Rhodey, and, well, that's when he became War Machine. And when he did take over the role, when Tony faked his death, he was still going by Iron Man. I have an annual of that. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, come on, this is the War Machine. It's amazing. Come on. I think I like this one a lot. The OG War Machine holds a special place on my heart, despite me not being too exposed to it, I guess. But it's still pretty cool. Model 12, the Telepresence armors. Okay, this is not really an armor. It's more like a drone. So this armor is essentially Tony just using it through mind control, kind of like the Sentry mode, like when Tony is rescuing people from the airplane in Iron Man 3. It's kind of like that, but it's impossible to wear. By the way, this armor design was actually used in Spider-Man the Animated Series, which is pretty cool. But, I mean, there's not much to talk about. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the armor looks weirdly naked, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to see because of how far down the images are. I kind of wish I had this a bit clearer. Maybe I can try zooming the footage in. No, wait, I think I'm doing this wrong. Is there any way for me to zoom this image in correctly without making the whole thing smaller? Never mind. I accidentally revealed personal information. Never mind. I can't quite show. No, wait. I can. Okay, finally. Here is a slightly clearer look. Okay, maybe not as clear as it should be, but at least it's easier to see. Yeah, it kind of looks naked due to, like, it looks like he's just wearing a diaper. He's got the crop top and some leggings. I mean, it's not terrible, but I like the next armor I'm going to talk about a whole lot better. So, okay, there's a lot of editing I'm going to have to do throughout this footage, but still. It's still pretty cool. Not a favorite, but still. B tier, I guess. The modular armor. You probably recognize this armor from Marvel vs. Capcom. Yeah, this is essentially where it comes from. By the way, its usage in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is actually when this armor was not used in the comics, by the way. It's just reused assets from a previous arcade game Capcom made for Marvel called Marvel Superheroes. Just wanted to put that out. So this armor essentially has these little pads. Oh, wait, I can just image it. I can just do it here. Okay. Yeah, the little pads here are essentially used to display weapons on here, like guns and stuff. It's used to swap out and adapt to, like, anything, really. It's pretty cool. Although, in terms of weapon arsenal, Marvel vs. Capcom is pretty accurate to this. Aside from the proton cannon, that was actually used by the Model 12, not Model 13. Still, it's pretty good. I like this one a little bit better because it looks like he has, like, full-on pants. I'll put this up. Yeah, this is top of A tier, in my opinion. The Hulkbuster armor. Hey, you know that thing? You know how everyone says that the Hulkbuster armors in the comics just straight up never work? Well, in the original comics, there actually was not a winner to the whole Iron Man vs. Hulk fight. It wasn't just a draw. And Hulk was still the Professor Hulk. Yeah, I mean, at least that's how he was. You can tell from the Chad jawline he has that's just Professor Hulk. I mean, this is still a good design. I think I like adding Kravnov's inaccurate depiction of the Argonaut Hulkbuster a little bit better than this, but I guess it's still pretty good, I guess. I'll give it an A tier. It's a pretty, influential Iron Man armor, but I wouldn't say that it's my favorite Hulkbuster design. And now we have, the Arctic armor. Literally all I remember about this armor is that it was used in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and that I own a toy of this. Like, is that how you say it? They made an Arctic armor recolor of that. That's kind of just all I remember of this armor. I don't even know what this one did. Blue is a good look on Iron Man, though. But, I mean, I dislike it when it's used on the stealth armor, but it kind of looks cool here. I like the shoulder pads. Wait, what shape is that emblem? Hold on. Oh, octagon. Yeah, this would be later adopted by the Renaissance armor. I guess it's pretty cool. Yeah. It's still B tier, but it's not bad. I've got the crossing armor. Yeah, it feels like it's trying to be the classic armor, but I don't know. I just don't like the little weird spikes over here. It feels like it's trying to make Iron Man, like, edgy, but not really doing it right. I can kind of see the vision behind it, but I don't really like those bulky gauntlets very much. I don't know, something about this is just off. I mean, this is also the comic appearance and when Iron Man was literally revealed to be a traitor that worked for King the Conqueror all these years. That's been retconned since then, but this armor does not really paint a good image at all. And from the storyline it's from, and its design just isn't that good. I don't know. It's just not that good, D tier. And now we have the Teen Tony armor. An armor so bad, it doesn't even have an official model designation. I mean, it does, but it's not a number. This isn't even counted as an official Iron Man armor. And, I mean, this is when Adult Tony, the one from The Crossing, was killed and replaced by this briefly from the comics for some time to make Iron Man more appealing to a younger audience, I think. The proportions and design of this armor just suck. I don't like this at all. It's not even considered an official Iron Man armor, despite, I mean, it kind of is one, but, like, this was never by the real one. Thankfully, Heroes Reborn brought Adult Tony back, but still, the proportions and design of this armor is just not flattering at all. D tier. This might be the worst one? Oh, wait. Oh yeah, we get the Heroes Reborn armor. You ever seen that, image of Captain America where his chest is absolutely humongous? Yeah, that's from Heroes Reborn. And this is too, and, okay, I don't really like the way this looks. I mean, the cables are a little bit cool, but that's done a lot better by, the next armor I'll be talking about. I do think the grid on the Octagon looks pretty cool. Like, I mean, there's some stuff to like about this armor, but I never really liked the helmet. Like, in some, like, covers and panels, the helmet legitimately looks more like it looks like an ape rather than Iron Man. This armor is just not flattering at all. And what's with the codpiece? Look, it has a codpiece. Why does it need that? And why does it have to look so big in this drawing's perspective? And the isolated abs are just killing me. I mean, it can look good sometimes, but this just doesn't look good. It messes, especially, it's just messy, especially when the cables are like around the armpit. This armor design just isn't that good. I mean, it's proportionally a little bit better than the Teen Tony suit, but this armor just isn't good. Now, here is another one I liked. I'm beginning to wish I did the image things here instead, because now then it would be easier. But I can still show it off through editing. And now we have the Renaissance armor. Now, sometimes it's drawn with the cables and sometimes it's not, but it looks really cool when it does. A lot of the stuff that some of the stuff that I disliked about the Heroes Reborn armor is honestly pretty good in the Renaissance armor. This is a pretty iconic Iron Man run, since it's when Iron Man comics started to get good again after the whole Teen Tony and Heroes Reborn thing. So, yeah, it holds a considerably good impact. Oh, and by the way, Tony Stark once dated this armor once. No, I'm not kidding about the whole dating thing. That really happened. And I like the Octagon. Wait, is that an Octagon? I honestly forgot my gun shapes. I'm gonna have to look this up. Okay, I tried to look up types of gun shapes, and now I do not know which one it is. It doesn't match any of them. Okay, it's just a random shape. Never mind, that is not an octagon. I'm stupid and I don't know my shapes. I need to go back into kindergarten. Well, that's embarrassing. I don't know which shape this is, but it looks cool now. I mean, it's more unique now that I don't know what it is, but it's still really nice. Oh, and it has the Horde helmet I really like. It also keeps that random lines that Modular Armor had, and it still looks pretty nice. Oddly enough, the way it connects to the shoulders is pretty cool too. Yeah, I like this one. It's an S tier. This one's cool. Now we got hold on. Wait, which one is this? Hold on. I had the Marvel Wiki on a different tab, and that's where I got all this images from, and I probably got 1,000 viruses from, since this is fandom.com, but still. Which one is this? Experimental Safe Armor? Okay, I don't know the story behind this one. What is this? Tony asked that Reed teleport him to the moon with his full space train scepter, so the armor apparently lacked boost to fly there. Capabilities. This armor's larger, and its capabilities are completely unknown. I'm not really a fan of it. I do like that it keeps the little antenna that some editions of the Model 1 have, and I think the Model 1 Mark III has it. It's kind of just fine. I don't really care for this design that much. Okay, I think this kind of looks... Wait, does it have a horn helmet? I can't really tell that well, but I'm not really a fan of it. I don't know. I don't think I really like this one too much. C tier. Well, there we go, guys. That is my my vintage Iron Man tier list from 1963 to 1999. This is every single armor, essentially, including variations of armors I've already covered. So, this is the official ranking of the oldest armors of my favorite superhero. Well, not official as in Marvel did it, but my official ranking. You can probably tell Iron Man's my favorite because of how I used him in both my attempts at Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Oh, by the way, during the video, I realized that I said that Marvel vs. Capcom 3 had its anniversary there, but it was actually Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I'm sorry that I got that wrong. I mentioned that in the description that I got it wrong after researching it, but still. Yeah, and he's also my YouTube profile picture. At least he is for now. I might do a rebrand at some point because I feel like that my name and just usage of a copyrighted character doesn't really make me stand out that much. But there we go. That is my ranking. It's okay to disagree with me. Listen, this is very opinion-based. It is perfectly fine to disagree with what I said here, and for me to correct on stuff that I completely got wrong. I will absolutely take criticism. I feel like that if you don't take criticism very well, you really just don't deserve to be a YouTuber at all. I feel like that one of the most important things about being a YouTuber is taking criticism, so that's something. Anyways, that's my ranking. And now I'm gonna delete all these images because I spent way too long just downloading all these images and probably filling up my computer storage like a water bucket on an unattended hose. Well, there we go. This is What Happy YouTuber 87 signing off, and I hope you have a great day.